This is the war movie we didn't know we needed. What's up, guys? My name is Max. I'm a Navy veteran. I served almost 14 years in the Navy, including a deployment to Iraq in 2015 when we were in the ISIS conflict. So I'm excited to get this movie review started. Let's get right into it. So Mosul quietly premiered on Netflix in November 2020 and tells the story of an Iraqi SWAT team fighting in Mosul during the final days of the occupation of ISIS. This film was written and directed by Matthew Michael Carnahan, who also wrote World War Z, 21 Bridges, and Lions for Lambs, which, by the way, is another great movie. But this is his directorial debut. It's also produced by the Russo brothers, who you might know from Avengers, for one. For starters, the film has no American characters. It is told completely from the perspective of Iraqis, and that's what makes it so perfect, honestly. The cast speaks Arabic, and from firsthand experience, let me tell you, this film is extremely authentic. This is the side of the war in the Middle East that I've been trying to tell people about for years. The violence, loss, trauma, the bravery, the loyalty in country, pride, love, and the suffering that the local populations experience during the war that never ends. ISIS, or Daesh, became a household name in 2014 after steamrolling through Iraq, taking tens of thousands of hostages and murdering countless Iraqi civilians, as well as executing terrorist attacks around the world. American and coalition involvement allowed the Iraqis to ultimately take their country back, though. Now, what we don't really ever seem to think about, though, is the soldiers, policemen, and civilians, the victims who are left, who lived through the Iraq war and then the ISIS conflict for years, and there was no break for them. They were home. People who've been fighting and surrounded by violence from a very, very young age. And I say again, they're not on deployment. They're home. And they're still there now. We know the impact war has on soldiers. A deployment, 2, 3. We understand that takes a major toll on someone. But then we come home and we have support. But they're living there now still, continuing to fight and survive. And they have no support. Children who've had to fight for survival, who have lost siblings and parents, have suffered major injuries, amputations, who have been displaced from their homes, and their cities have been destroyed, crumbled to the ground. It honestly keeps me up at night thinking of what they've endured and what they continue to deal with. They are surviving right now and will continue to as they rebuild and try to stabilize and deal with what has happened there. So this film tells that perspective in an extremely effective way. The story follows Kawa, played by Adam Bessa, who is a young, brand new policeman at the beginning of the movie, but is quickly recruited by the Nineveh SWAT team after surviving a brutal battle right in the beginning. The Nineveh SWAT team is a volunteer force that is willing to do whatever it takes to defeat ISIS, including bringing the fight to them. And listen, trigger warning for anyone who served in a war zone, because this movie depicts war and violence in a very realistic, very graphic way, which honestly is exactly how it should be. One thing I always say about war movies, what they get wrong, is their depiction of death and killing. But this movie does a great job not holding back. People don't just die quietly and forgettably when they get shot or blown up. And if you want to see an authentic war movie experience, you have to see that stuff. You can see that here. The pace of the film is just chaotic, which matches the theme very well. Jessam, the team leader, played by Suhail Dabak, keeps things moving while teaching Kawa along the way. There is a mentor-mentee relationship there between them it's really well done, I think. And we see Kawa transform in a very real way throughout the film. Kawa, from the beginning, has this chip on his shoulder, like he has something to prove to the rest of the team as he earns their trust. It is interesting. You see them teaching him their tactics as they conduct a building clearance. Like, as they conduct a real building clearance, they're like, here's how you walk, here's how you move. That adds to the sense of urgency that their mission has. Like, there is no time. They are moving towards victory. One of the most hard-hitting and real things that this movie has is its ability to tell you all the horrors of war without having to push it in your face with exposition and cliche dialogue. It just shows you with action. It shows you that no matter how good a soldier you are, no matter how many battles you've been in, war does not discriminate. The tactics that ISIS uses against the police are extremely accurate as far as showing the different capabilities that the Iraqis were up against, including drones, machine guns, bombs, booby traps. The tactics used by the SWAT team are also pretty accurate as a representation of the reality over there. What I mean is that includes just reaching up and blind firing over the top of barriers, the spray and pray, if you will. It's not pretty, but it's definitely real. To be critical of the film for a moment, the pacing, which I mentioned adds urgency and chaos also hurts the film as it speeds through some very nuanced and complex ideas they try to tackle, such as young children losing their parents, siblings being separated by war, loss of loved ones, abuse of women, murder, PTSD, and the list I could go on of the things they just breeze through. But on a plus side of that, it reminds you that in times of total chaos, there is no time to stop and reflect on what just happened because you have to keep moving forward. That means you have to compartmentalize that stuff for a later date. In closing, this movie is a must watch to try to begin to understand the experiences of the Iraqi people over the last nearly 20 years of what they've been through. I would love to know what you guys think in the comments down below. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button up in the corner here and check out this next video. If you want, in the description down below, there's links where you can get ScuttleButt Show merch and find out how you can support the channel. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to talking to you guys very soon.